Was Jesus really born September 11th, 3 BC? The claim seems like a typical goofy internet garbage claim, doesn't it? That's what I first thought too when I encountered it in the book The Star That Astonished the World by Ernest L. Martin. But then I ran into the publication date that astonished me.
It was published several years before the attacks on 9/11 even happened.
Obviously, it was not influenced by that event. The birth of Jesus is mentioned in exactly 3 places in the Bible: Matthew, Luke, and Revelation 12. Revelation 12 is fascinating because it looks like a description of the night sky on the night that Jesus was born. A great sign, and that's semeion in Greek, it can mean something that appears in the heavens, appeared in heaven, and that word uranos can also mean sky, so an astral thing appeared in the sky. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its heads. Its tail swept up a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that it might devour her child the moment he was born. She gave birth to a son, a male child who will rule all the nations with an iron scepter, and her child was snatched up to God into his throne. Alright, here's the night sky in Jerusalem as seen on September 11th, 3 BC. We're facing east. The sun is just about to come up, and you see here Jupiter, the king planet, is on the king star Regulus in the king constellation Leo. Let's run this clock forward. We see Venus and Mercury coming up right above Virgo. And then boom, there's Virgo clothed with the sun. Alright, for this next part, I'm going to turn off the ground and turn off the atmosphere so we can see what's happening. You see here Virgo has the moon at her feet. She's clothed with the sun. And if you look here next to her, there's Hydra, the multi-headed dragon. And next to it is a meteor shower that's happening where it would look like it's throwing stars out of the heavens. And now, I'm not 100% certain about this, but if we look here, there's 9 prominent stars in Leo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you count the planets too. 1, 2, 3, so 9 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 12 is 12 stars. So Virgo has a crown of 12 stars on her head. Now these are the modern Western constellations. I'm not sure how close they are to Roman ones, but we can also compare what's happening with the Greek Almagest constellations from the time around the time of Christ. You see Snake still here, Lion still here, King Star on the King constellation. It says maiden here, but it was Parthenos in Greek, which means virgin, just like Virgo means virgin in Latin. The moon's still at her feet. This time it's even more obvious. She's still clothed with the sun. There's something interesting with this one. It has wings. And if you read later on in Revelation 12, you see where the virgin gets wings. She's given wings to fly away. That could be a reference to that, potentially. Because in Greek, Parthenos, the virgin, was closely related to the god Dike. Something else to know is that the date of September 11th is the only time that this works out. Because if you add just one day, let's go to September 12th, the moon's too far down. It's over here in this other constellation. If you go to September 10th, now the Virgin is clothed with the moon rather than having the moon at her feet. And now let's look at it using the Western constellations. And you see the same thing. It needs to be September 11th for the moon to be at her feet, because otherwise it goes down too far, and it's in Libra. And you go up to the 10th and she's clothed with the moon. It's only on this date that the moon is at her feet and she's clothed with the sun.
The last thing to note is that the moon here is at a new moon. And this coincides exactly with Tishri 1 of the Jewish calendar. This was their new year. That happened to be the date from Jewish tradition where kings were inaugurated, when creation was supposedly first created, and Noah's birthday. Remember that sundown is when the Jewish day starts, so sundown of that day before would be where Tishri 1 started. So the morning of September 11th and the later part of Tishri 1 would be the same day, and that would be September 11th and Tishri 1 at the same time. So if Jesus was born in that morning of September 11th, it would have been Tishri 1.
That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed.